You got all these calls down, like little, steal second kind of.
Jay No Wikis. What a bunch of beautiful people. Look at little Rybo at the bottom.
I just still love the one up top. That actually I haven't made that call yet. The top right, it looks like somebody I know.
I look like
Rybo.
I look like Greg Allman kind of on the top row.
The top left.
Yeah, top left.
In the middle row there, I kind of look like if Ed Begley Jr. had hair.
Oh man!
Oh my God, that's the creepiest thing. Rod Stickler,
the great Rod Stickler, welcoming us in to Winnipeggers. We finally got the right number. It's 52 this week. I'm pretty sure of it. We screwed up last week. We said it was 50, but it was really 51. So 51's kind of like the miss. Like, when you get in an elevator and you're looking for floor 13, but only goes from 12 to 14.
Yeah.
That's kind of what episode 51 is. So 6 months from now, we're trying to find episode 51. We'll get in some stupid argument because all of us will forget that we didn't have an episode 51.
We haven't done that commercial. Yes, we have.
Yeah, exactly. So, but welcome to Winnipeggers number 52. This is actually technically the year anniversary because there's 52 weeks in the year. So cheers to that.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And you said you weren't that good at math.
I know, exactly. But so we could get all philosophical and sentimental, but we did that a couple of weeks ago.
We cried.
So yeah, exactly. So we really don't care. So. Welcome to the show. Great time last week. Lots of laughs, lots of fun. And we're going to continue that this week. Dave, beforehand, we found out that Speedy was making toilet, which is always good.
Sometimes the pre-show, Rybo does this too. We all do it. A little pre-toilet before the show.
Well, I'm sitting on a toilet right now. That way it doesn't even matter.
Rybo. No making toilet on the air.
Right.
You just moved you just moved your toilet into your studio area. Just eliminate that problem right there.
Right, exactly.
Get back into the yard behind the shed.
Call back. I remember, Chris, you had that little toy drum kit at your house when you were younger, and I always wanted to get one of those and set it up in front of the toilet so that I could practice while I was, doing my business. But then I thought I was actually going to classically train myself to actually have to poo every time I was playing the drums. So I thought that would be a bad idea.
Pavlov's drum.
I think you should change the font below Ryan to Rybo makes toilet. This is the new thing for Ryan. Ryan's got a bit.
Oh, that's funny though. But there is lots of bits. Dave, actually, you have. You've really started something very cool here in connecting with the family and actually reaching out to them. It's a little bit of a segment that we like to call Dave's Roper Room.
Look at that. I love that face. Oh my gosh.
Hi, family. Here I come.
I hope so. There he is.
It's a little slow tonight here in the Alberta. I just wanted to give a big shout out to the family because we love you. Rybo loves you. Chris loves you. I love you, and we can see you. We want to let you know that. It's very important. I want to say hi to darling Jessica and to Jamie from the Interlake, Manitoba. Stay warm. I'd like to say hi to little Texan, Angel Dawn. Oh, look at me and my spelling. And Bob Robb from New Jersey. Bob, say hi to Snooki for us. We love her. We love you, and we can see you all. Little Toho from Sherwood Park. Toho, we love you. We can see you. Rybo and Chris, the Winnipeggers, we all love you. And Asher from Inverness, Florida. Thanks for watching the show all the time, Asher. We love you. Chris, Rybo, and I love you. Winnipeggers love you, and we can see you. I hope that you all enjoy the show tonight.
All right.
There we go.
I like turning off the music.
Yeah. We love you, family. We love you.
We don't really have a producer here, so
We really do. But yeah, we all kind of co-produce this together.
Engineer.
If we get all the cues right, we're happy. So
well, we do love our fans. Though.
That was great, and we got a lot of. And it's funny. I always mention that we appreciate when we can watch this on Facebook or YouTube, and there is tons and tons and tons of comments from the family. On YouTube that we hadn't seen. This is actually from episode 47, High School Teachers, which was a hilarious show, by the way. When we announced Pan-Faced Peters, it just broke out into laughter. And then when Rybo said that Mr. Hildebrand looked like a fat Charlie Chaplin in the picture. So we get some great so Anetta Edgel said we need a pro wrestling part 2. There has to be a lot more stories. Thank you for everything you guys do. I always have something to look forward to on Thursdays. Much love to you all.
Very nice.
Thank you. That was great. Do we know a guy named Paul McKay, Rybo?
We sure do.
We do, yes. Yeah. He's a Winnipegger. Yeah,
he's on
here. He used to live right across from Dave. The first band I was ever in was called The Misunderstood, and he was the guitar player.
Well, there you go. He posted a comment, said, finally, some proper theme music. And for High School Teachers, I think that was with the Cosmopolitans. We're starting it off. So.
Right. He always loved VPW. Yeah.
He always did. If it's one thing I remember about Paul McKay, he was all about VPW. I really remember that.
I remember jamming at his house, and he brought down some milk or something. Someone was drinking milk, and then next time we jammed, it was still sitting there. It was just like
stinks.
He was like, "How dare you to eat it? You had to eat it because it was solid."
You know, we had a fan ask us last week what bands we were in, and I just Dave Spivak Project. Rybo was in 150 bands, but actually I was in my first band as elementary kids. Was Paul McKay and I. We had a band called Killers on the Rampage, and we wrote a song called "Man in Red." Man in Red, you made your bed. Now you're gonna die. That was it. That was
wow.
And, yeah, it was really cool. Distortion. It was just, I don't know if you heard of Distortion, but it was a big deal.
The other one was Man in Red. You making toy lead. I think was the next line.
That was our Weird Al version of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Michelle Worrell, who we've heard from quite a bit, the best part of Thursdays. Oh my gosh, the opening was hilarious. Love you guys. I used to tell people that Ernest P. Worrell was my uncle. I never lived those movies down. And then, of course, when we were talking about the Ernest Goes to Camp, my favorite was when they ran out of ideas. They just said Ernest Stays Home.
How exciting, eh?
Winnipeggers episode 60, nothing.
Yeah. And this is Michelle as well. Thanks to Rybo, he reminded me of the Ernest P. Worrell movies. I can never live down having the last name Worrell. Oh, because Ernest P. Worrell. Oh, we get it. Yeah. Same last name. Tonight's Winnipeggers was hilarious. I agree with Courtney. Chris is hot. Well, thank you so much. And we get Christopher Russell says, I love Courtney. She's honestly a sweetheart. We'll have to bring her back.
Well, yeah, you paid her like $10, and then I guess you paid Michelle $10 too. So $10 is $10. That's
in the words of Geddy Lee, exactly right.
Courtney was the most enthusiastic, but we'll get to those things later.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep going. You know, Josh Timperley said, "What are you guys doing for the 50th episode special? Keep up the great work from your UK member of the family." Well, you saw it. It wasn't much.
We can't even remember what we did.
We really don't. Every single week here is special with you guys and with the family.
We love you.
We love you. We really do. This week we've got a great special guest, very close to Rybo's heart. This is one of the greatest characters in Star Wars history. We're talking about Lando Calrissian, as played by Billy D. Williams here on the Winnipeggers.
So I'm here from. How you doing, you old pirates? So good to see you all. Hi, Speedwee, Rybo, and Irvas, Billy D here. You know, I love stories as much as the next smuggler, so I'm here from a galaxy far, far away to share one of my favorite Star Wars stories. This was when I did Return of the Jedi. I remember at Jabba the Hutt's party, there were all kinds of interesting, strange creatures, but one creature that I thought was kind of interesting was a six-breasted lady. So, anyway, that's my story. May the Force be with all of you, always.
Thanks for the wind.
Oh man.
I thought he was going to give us some great punchline. Where I could have wrote it for him. Was the six-breasted lady that was enough for Han, Luke, and Lando?
There
we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
That's all I had to say.
Way better.
Maybe he was worried about that with the culture and all that stuff. They don't want to cancel Lando.
Well, exactly. Cancel Lando. That'd be perfect for us, the Winnipeggers. We could, we all got two hands.
I will say it was pretty cool to have Billy D say hi to Spewy, Rybo, and Irvas.
Yeah, it's really nice, whoever that is.
Spewy would know.
Yeah.
So
maybe you have to have Star Trek on next time, and then Dave might know.
Well, he wouldn't know that either. No. So we'll just get rid of him as we talk about Star Wars for a couple seconds, Rybo.
Lando would be wearing his skiff guard uniform, but that's okay.
The funny thing was, I removed Spewy to talk about Star Wars, and you instantly froze. So Spewy's probably got something built in.
I do. I have a whole bunch of stuff going on here.
So when I kick off Spewy, Rybo freezes. Oh, get it?
Where the hell I can go?
Rybo, because we just had Lando come on, and Rybo froze in homage to Han Solo.
There we go. Yeah.
Great stuff.
In carbonite.
Dave, you told us earlier that you have a little bit of an update from the corporation. Oh, really? Because I know you've been kind of going behind our backs with Barry Boobs and exchanging emails and stuff without us CC'd, which is a little bit strange, but kind of weird. I smell
spinoff.
Well, I made some. Barry's got me making some cold calls, and I've been phoning some numbers. I've been emailing some people. We haven't got a big response on that, but hard work will pay off. It'll really pay off. I have been hearing things like lunches and catered things and all this fancy stuff and escargots or gots or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been really kind of cool. Grey Poupon, we're starting to get into all of that kind of thing. Martinis, Barry said to me, we're going to have martinis for you guys. So something big is happening, man. Like when they start throwing around escargots and martinis, we know that we're super
getting
close,
up there. Rybo, what did you say you smelled?
Spinoff. Dave's been talking to Barry Boobs about the spinoff.
Like maybe this type of a spinoff, perhaps?
So stupid.
This could be it. This could be your show, Dave, where you just play every character. I think you might actually probably kind of like
this.
This
is what Barry and I have been working on.
A lot of work.
All right. Before we get to the and thanks for the corporation update. We're still holding on to our hopes and dreams, and hopefully something will happen for us soon. In the meantime, and in between time, we got a great sponsor this week. It's Sam the Record Man has signed on, and they are going to promote a new artist of the week every time they place an ad on the Winnipeggers. So thanks to Sam the Record Man. And this week they are promoting the brand new Chocolate Bunnies from Hell album right here on the Winnipeggers.
It's the return of the Chocolate Bunnies from Hell with their new song Pimpin' for Jill, backed up with Simple Man. Available now at $7.99 at Sam the Record Man. It's the new Chocolate Bunnies from Hell. Go see them opening for Gado at the zoo on June 30th. Don't miss the Chocolate Bunnies from Hell. Only $7.99 at all Sam the Record Man location.
I love it.
Yeah. Chocolate.
Was Kev in the band then?
Yeah, not sure.
Kev was one of the 47 people that have been in the Chocolate Bunnies.
I think he figured out that he was about 99. There was talk about actually doing like a social that was it PJ Burton.
PJ Burton, yeah.
Yeah, another Burton. That he was going to do like a social and have just people that have been in the band, and you could pack the whole place. 150 people there. Everyone's been in the band.
I was really looking forward to the project in the mid 80s that was going to be called Burton with PJ Cummings and Cliff. which would have been amazing.
I know, but then Cliff died, and it ruined
And then
everything.
just the whole thing fell. Cliff was really the real heart and soul behind Burton. All right. Well, speaking of bands and rock and roll and parties, this week's show is called Rock and Roll Weekend. This one was written by Dave. It's originally Road Trip was the original idea, Road Trippin', but every time we did a road trip, we would always call it a rock and roll weekend. Whether we saw a band or not, it'd be just getting together and going fucking crazy, having some fun. So, Dave, this is kind of your brainchild, and we have so many of them. Where do you want to start?
I don't have a story.
Okay.
No.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you one that Clifford. I'll tell you one that I think is really fun, and because we haven't been on many lately, and
we haven't. No.
My sister Barb turned 50 about 6 years ago, and your cousin Chad and I went down to Las Vegas, and we went to go surprise her. So she had no idea we were coming, which was a lot of fun. So I was texting with her best friend, and she told us where they were and everything. But Chad and I get in a day earlier, and Jeff was busy. Our friend Red Cup Jeff, hello Jeff. He was a little busy. We were going to hook up with him the next day. So Chad and I are in the hotel. We're hanging out at the lobby, and there's the funniest girl I've ever met in my life coming up to us. This chick is like pantsuits and just up, and she's zinging off like Jerry Seinfeld type stand up. Chad and I are just howling. Then there's these college guys we're sort of hanging out with. You know, we don't know anybody. And, hey, let's go to this club. And we start to go to them. One guy's super loaded. Like, he's just all over us and drooling. I said, Chad, Chad, let's get away from these people just because of this one friend. It's like, I don't put up with anything anymore. So we're like, okay, cool. So we're hanging out at the lobby, just me, Chad, and this girl. I can't remember her name. We'll call her Sarah or something. And she says, yeah, let's, we said, hey, you know, we got free mini bars, so we're going to come hang out. Like, we totally trusted her. She was super cool and super funny, just zinging off jokes. So we had this awesome deal where we had unlimited high-end mini bar in our room. So let's just go up there. And it was a huge room, you know. So we get up there, and we're going up in the elevator. And she stops telling jokes, and she just looks at us, and she goes, well, she tells a zinger, and then she goes, I'm a party girl. And I don't know what the hell that means. Chad doesn't know. And we go, oh, we're party boys. And we're high-fiving her, and we're, you know, laughing, thinking it's kind of weird, but he kind of looks at me. I don't know. So then we get to the hotel, open up the door, and she just starts coming on strong. Like she's literally trying to jump you. And she's like, you know, and then she'll say, oh, you guys are so hot, you know, and for this amount of money, I would do this and this, and for this amount of money, I would do this. And it was like, holy shit, man, we got roped in. This is a hooker, right? So the best little part of the story is two farmer idiots from Canada not knowing what a party girl is, number one. Number two, she wasn't disguised as a hooker. She just came on, like it was almost like she saw us and went, I'm going to try this with these guys. Then she feeds us the sad story. There's always a sad story. You know, I needed money for whatever. So then she says, okay, she goes, and then she kind of like, you know, we said, look, we're not interested. I'm sorry. And then she tried again, and then we're not interested. Well, okay, cool. Do you think you could pay for my cab fare home? And I look at Chad and I go, I got no money on me at all. And he goes, you're going to have to owe me half. And I go, we'll see. He had money, so he paid the hooker, and he paid her to leave, basically, right? So the whole weekend, my sister and all her friends and Jeff, and we finally met up with them, we just kept pointing at Chad at the bar, going, Chad paid for a hooker. He paid for a hooker. I've never paid for half because I just couldn't live with that, even though it was just cab fare to get her out of the room. So that's just my little
you guys
cute
didn't
story.
Think that the strange girl that you met in the lobby of a Vegas hotel, there might be
in pantsuits, zinging off stuff like, what's the deal with salad? You know, it was like
that was her pickup line. That was her read between the lines here.
She probably was looking. She probably said, these two, they're funny guys, and Chad's as one of the best guys you can hang out with. He's so much fun. And I think she caught on that, and then just we were really shocked, really, really shocked.
So crazy that there's a hooker in Vegas.
What a couple farmers.
But I'm just so happy that I never gave any money. I have such a clean conscience over that, right? So that's my cute story for the show. I'm getting a sore throat.
Well, a good one that all of us are always involved in for me was going to Toronto. which this is when Rybo lived in Toronto, and we would always seem to go there every January 9th, January 9th, January 9th, January 9th, January 9th. And we would go basically just to go hang out and party. You know, that was a rock and roll weekend. And we would always end up like a few times hanging out with Stacy Keibler, who was just a great chick to hang out with. Such a fun girl. And she loved you guys because you guys would always, like, for every reason, dance on the dance floor.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was going through this dance phase, and Ryan would too, and Ryan would kind of move like that. But I would literally do this thing where I just jumped up and down like this, and I would jump really high. I had a really good vertical. I had some Doc Martens on, and I could really spring up. And she just thought it was cool. She's like 8 feet tall, so she really dug it. But yeah, and then she called me Jumpy because of that, and Rybo Shaggy because of his beard. But we really did like spend most of the evening or evenings that we hung out with her, just the three of us, because she was super funny and a lot of fun, right?
Pretty cool.
So she always was looking forward to hanging out with Jumpy and Shaggy. So I would bring Jumpy and Shaggy to wherever we were. And then that was at the time when there was a garbage strike in Toronto.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So brutal.
So what happened with that one, Dave?
Well, okay, so, you know, Stacy was kind of the kind of girl like an Elaine from Seinfeld that would go, get out of here, and give you a push, and you would just go flying. Like, she knew how to really give a good push. And we just started kind of doing that, and it was just funny, and it was outside after the bar, and the streets are just covered in garbage. So then somehow, I don't know if I started it or she started it, but we literally started hitting each other with garbage bags from some stranger's garbage on the streets of Toronto, which is so disgusting. It was like, 100 degrees out. And I just remember coming at her. She hit me really good with one, and the bag just broke open, and she's just covered in like cans of tuna and a dead fish or whatever.
Garbage juice.
Yeah, garbage juice. Just like.
But to her credit,
chicken carcass.
She didn't even get mad. She was laughing about it.
No, she was super cool, man. And she
and then like really a month later, she was dating George Clooney.
Right. And then, and funny enough, I went to Las Vegas about 10 years after this Toronto trip. And I ran into her at a club there. Sorry, nightclub. Chris doesn't like that because it dates me.
Because no one calls it a nightclub.
Right. And she's there with like some entourage when they come in. And I'm going to Jeff. I go, Red Cup Jeff. I said, there's Stacy Keibler. He goes, yeah, you can't go up to her, dude. She's got security around her, all these people. I said, dude, she's my friend. I'm Jumpy. He goes, what the hell are you talking about? And I go running up. I go, Stacy. And these guys just come at me, basically tackle me. And she's like, looks, goes, hey, leave him alone. Come on over. So we kind of caught up for like a quick 10 minutes. But
were you saying, I'm Jumpy?
Yeah,
I'm Jumpy.
The garbage, the gross garbage. I hit you over the head with it.
Remember, I hit you over the head with garbage. That's not what you say when you. Security grabs you and you say that. That's not a good idea.
And then of course that always led to the great times after, because we would stay up till 5, 6, whatever it may be. And the one time we were we got a taxi to get a taxi home, but why we were? What happened with that, Rybo?
This is a bad one too. I remember there was a whole bunch of us, and we had a couple of stragglers on or whatever. I remember going to we went to an after party at like 5 in the morning, 5:30, and the band that was playing was a 3-piece band. The drummer was a left-handed black singer, and I was like, you might be the first and only black
drummer
lead singer I've ever seen. And this guy was like 8 feet tall, super cool, and he hung out with us for the next like 2 after parties we went to, because we went to like 2 after parties after that.
I remember none of this.
And at one point,
I don't think I was there.
Well, you probably kind of weren't, but at one point, I remember going into the can. Like we got to this after party, and I went straight to the can. And you, Chris, you grabbed a fire extinguisher and just unloaded the whole thing when I was at the urinal. Just filled the whole place. Then we left there, and I remember everyone had to go, like, hey, we're going to this other after party. It's this pretty cool place. And these 2 guys that we had just met like that night, they're like, well, I know where we're going. And all the cars were kind of full. And they said, oh, you can come with me. And I barely knew these guys. Okay, sure. So everyone gets in their cars, and I get in the car with these guys, and we're just hammered, right? These guys aren't hammered. We get in the car, and all of a sudden I'm sitting in the car like, I don't know these guys at all. and I'm just hammered. They could just drive to Niagara Falls or something and throw me over. I don't know.
Drop you off at the wax museum.
Pretty much, but they brought us to the right place, and it continued on. But
I remember that for some reason we were in a taxi, and the guy. Oh, I know what it was.
That was a different trip. Yeah.
Well, they're all blend in together.
Yeah, I know.
We asked the guy, "Hey, man, can you take us to the Young Street and I don't know Barrie or whatever? Give me whatever Young Street and freaking Gasworks or Bloor." And he's like, "I don't know how to get there." And I said, "Well, it's kind of your job." He goes, "It's not my job." I said, "No, that's exactly your fucking job. You have one job. Yeah. We get in the car and ask you to take us somewhere, and you take us. That's how it works." And somehow he kind of took us a little bit, and then he got kind of lost, or he pissed us off, or maybe we were already mad. And we basically just got out of the cab and ran away. And we just ran. And we ran, and I remember we were just screaming Lebowski, "You know what happens? You know what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass? You know what happens, Larry, when you fuck..." We were just yelling this at this taxi driver who could barely speak English as it was. And then we just ran.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember it so well because it was getting heated. It was just the three of us, no one else around and the cab driver. And it was getting heated. Like this guy was starting to really lose his temper. He was being a real dick. And I just remember Chris and I really lipping him off back, and Ryan just kind of doing the old not Sir Brave, Sir Robin, Monty Python, just kind of getting the hell out of there. And then Chris and I are Chris just looks at me and kind of goes, "Should we?" I'm like, "Let's get out of here." He's like, "Run." And we just legs up as high as you can. Just the guy must have thought like these guys are going to fight me. But not that we'd ever fight a cab driver anyway. It was just getting heated, and then we just ran away. So
I remember the guy going, "I'm calling the police. I'm going to call the police. I'm calling the police." And you're like, "I'm calling the police." So you both are pretending to call the police.
Yeah, because he's trying to rip us off. It's like, I don't. That's not my job. Yeah. It's your only job is to take us where we need to go. That's what a cab driver does. Yeah. This is on you. And this is like pre-cell phones with your MapQuest and stuff. But it doesn't matter. If you're driving in downtown TO, and the guy was no spring chicken, I'm sure he'd been doing it for a couple of years. You probably know that like the back of your hand. You know what it was like? We were saying, take us to buy a Gremlin where you got to knock on a secret door. It was like, take us to the movie. Remember that place is called The Movie or something? Just take us to the movie on Bloor and Young Street.
The hotel.
The hotel bar.
Yeah. That's right. But so that's what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
What a great old story.
We believe in nothing.
Yes,
that's right.
Oh, sorry, hold on, I blew that one. Because we believe in nothing.
We are not nihilists. Yeah, we are Winnipeggers.
Love it.
There's something before we continue. I forgot to say this earlier. There's one little piece of fan mail that I wanted to share you guys because something actually pretty big came of this. So a great member of the family who Dave knows, Jake Chavez, came up with some merch ideas he made for the Winnipeggers. And one of them there, it says Dave's rant. I don't want to take over the show, which was kind of a cute one. So I'll show you guys. Let me show you that one first. There it is. So there's there's number one, Dave's rants. It's okay.
Yeah, I like it. It says my name on it.
Yeah, I don't really want you taking over the t-shirts though. So then the other one that he actually came up with the idea was this one, which is kind of a play on what's going on now. Spewy and Rybo and Irvas, which I wore one a couple weeks ago. Said Osborne and Rhodes and Sarzo and Aldridge. And there's, if you're a Schitt's Creek fan, there's a Johnny and Moira and David and Alexis. So he pitched this idea, and there was a little bit of a fan vote that went out, and now available at Pro Wrestling Tees is the brand new Winnipegger shirt. Right here.
Oh, wow. How about the Spewy rant one or the Dave rant? Is that?
Well, that'll be later. This is the first of Spewy and Rybo and Irvas. And you can buy that now. As you can see, both, you can get it in a t-shirt right there. $24.99.
That's it.
If you go to prowrestlingtees.com/Chris Jericho. So this is the new shirt, guys. What do you think?
Neat. I like it. It's really cool. It's very hip. It's very hip.
My wife said she would buy one of these.
And she wouldn't buy the other one, eh?
No, she didn't want the pictures of our faces, but she likes the names.
Nice. This one's going out.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can buy. Here's the best thing: you can buy either one.
Yeah,
you buy both.
Yeah, they're both insanely good quality. Is it
So
the same
that's-
quality, like exact same quality?
Exact same quality.
Holy crap, $24.99. That is
So you
blow
can
your
buy
mind.
that now. Spewy and Rybo and Irvas. And I'm sure you like that, Dave, because your name is, of course, listed first.
I like that. It's kind of a compromise on the old spin-off show idea. This is great. I love this, and this is lifetime. It's a lifetime transferable warranty on that shirt as well.
Same as the one that you have. Show the one you have in your hand right now.
These people have to all buy this. It's
Let's see this one.
$24.99.
It's your whole wardrobe there. If you
this
get
is
those two
everything
shirts,
here.
you don't need anything.
That's a clean shirt. That looks great.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
super good. It never goes to that. You know how some shirts go a little faded.
Yeah,
Like these here. These are okay too. These are, I don't know. We'll negotiate a price. You let me know. But they're good. But this thing is amazing. Like this is just the best
Well, a
quality
couple
I've
weeks
ever
ago, it
seen.
looked like it was a beat sock, but now at least you've washed it.
I gave it a cleaning. Why? Because I'm in an unfinished basement. There's a dusty floor, and it keeps falling every time I'm done. Because I kind of go like this, like, oh, it's over. Thank God, another show is in the can. You know, I survived. I didn't have to make toilet. You know, on the air.
I didn't want to interrupt any other stories from the Rock and Roll Weekend, but I wanted to get that in because that is available now at prowrestlingtees.com/Jericho. The new Spewy and Rybo t-shirt. I think this was going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
Spewy, Rybo, and Irvis.
Irvis, yeah.
This is without the hyphen, which we refuse to put in there. So, any last stories from the Rock and Roll road trip? I know we could probably do part 2 of this one as well. We probably will.
Yeah, do a part 2, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
We got tons.
It would really bother me to have to go back and do another one. Right?
Yeah, you know, it's time because you know what, our shows have been getting kind of long lately. Let's keep this a little bit more compact because we've had a great run. This has been a great show. Thanks to the amazing Billy D. Williams and the 6-breasted woman.
That's crazy. Yeah. And
I
the
wonder
guy
if she really had 6 breasts. I don't know.
Yeah. Billy Jean Williams?
Billie Jean.
Yeah. Good guy.
That's the guy who Michael Jackson wrote the song about.
Oh, okay. That's why he's famous. Okay, that's how
You
he's
might have
famous.
heard of him. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
I know Michael Jackson.
And thanks to Sam's Record Man. Don't forget to get the new Chocolate Bunnies from Hell album, which is out for $7.99. Don't forget to go see them opening for Gatto at the Zoo in Winnipeg on June 30th, as we pointed out. But I think that's another great show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you. We love you. We love you a lot.
Thanks, family.
Super big love.
We'll be back next week. Next week we got a big one for you.
Oh, God.
We got a big show for you next week. It's going to be unbelievable. Let me just give you a little bit of a clue right there. And that's not a submarine that you put in a bathtub.
Or a hash pipe.
It could be turned into one, though. But
Of course, mine's gold and is dressed up.
Exactly. We'll see you next week for Kazoo Music right here in the Winnipeggers. Oh. Should we try and play the? No, we should say that for next week. I forgot to play the. You guys know how the theme song goes. Bam, 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 bam. Crash and burn, crash and burn, crash and burn. Thank you. Good night. God bless you. The best. We'll see you later. Boom. Cheers.